When it comes to treating chronic wounds, serious injuries, and many life-threatening conditions, we have amazing resources at Intermountain Healthcare's LDS Hospital and Intermountain Medical Center with their hyperbaric medicine centers. Dr. Lyndall Weaver is the medical director of hyperbaric medicine centers at those facilities. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course, I'm glad to.
Doctor, tell me what hyperbaric oxygen therapy is.
Sure. Well, hyper is increased, baric is pressure, so it's simply increased pressure while breathing pure oxygen. So patients go inside chambers, we shut the door on the chamber, we pressurize it, and then the patient breathes high concentrations of oxygen. That raises oxygen levels to very high amounts in their blood and in their tissue, and that drives a whole cascade of effects, including enhanced wound healing.
Okay, so if I'm thinking, would this be good for me? What specific things does this treat?
Well, I assume you're healthy, so we wouldn't do it with you. But for example, we treat diabetic wounds that are threatening a limb often, or bone infections that are difficult to get on top of with antibiotics and surgery, generally in immunocompromised or debilitated people. Of course, we treat carbon monoxide poisoning, and I call the audience's attention to knowledge and prevention about carbon monoxide exposure, decompression sickness, gas embolism, flesh-eating bacteria, gas gangrene, necrotizing fasciitis, acute flaps and grafts. So let's say a person has an ear replanted from injury or something. Often we are used to, hyperbaric is used, I should say, to treat those kinds of conditions in patients. Typical treatments are 2 hours at a time, usually once a day, sometimes more aggressively, depending on what we're trying to accomplish.
Dr. Weaver, what are you hearing from patients who've had this treatment?
Mostly favorable. I mean, a lot of the patients have serious medical problems, so, cures and things are not realistic, but often we do save limbs. Patients with carbon monoxide do better in terms of their brain, sometimes their heart function. So really, largely, hyperbaric works quite nicely. Oh, another group of patients that we treat are radiation injury. A patient might have had cancer, then they get radiation, but then sometimes the tissue breaks down. So we treat those patients.
And it can be life-changing. Dr. Weaver, thank you so much. For more information, visit intermountainhealthcare.org.